Hola, Paula here. Today I'm going to do a little summary of chapter 6 titled The Map of My Life. So I highly suggest creating a map of your life, or if you want to start simple, set a goal, set an ambition, something that you want to accomplish, and make a map to it. That way we can eventually reach it and not get lost in this journey called life. So grab a piece of paper, start at the bottom, which is bottom. You can't go anywhere else but up and forward. That's why the starting point is here, because our plan is to move forward and up and not falling off the map into do more vices or anything like that. We don't want to go with the flow and get carried in life like this. So here you're gonna put your ambition at the top. Along the way, we're gonna encounter life, obstacles such as sickness, scarcity of money, unemployment, lack of friends, laziness, vices, and then we're gonna also have distractions, social events, parties, needy people, any television, a lot of things like those. We can put them in our map in the form of boulders, rivers, shady trees. Anyways, that's life, and we're not gonna go hide and just work 16 hours a day, because that's not reality. It could be for some people, but for a lot of us it's not healthy. We need friends, we need family, we need community. So with this little map, it's just going to be a reminder that you're gonna look at it every day, put it on the fridge, anywhere you navigate, your bedroom, your car, your purse, and have it there. That way you always know where you're going, and you're gonna know how to handle these things. And you're gonna also put in your rituals. These are gonna be your trails, your daily habits that are gonna make these trails that are gonna take you up there. And what are those trails? Those rituals are gonna be your exercise, meditation, breathing exercises, acquiring of skills. Say you have a business, you can improve on your sales, on your marketing, on other skills that you might want, or whatever you think are the skills necessary to accomplish that goal. If you want to be healthy, make it a skill to learn about nutrition, learn about weightlifting. And it's also helpful to put in a schedule here that are going to include those skills. For example, on mine, I have 2 hours dedicated to health, which would be going to the gym, cooking healthy, treatments. Those are dedicated to health. Meditation, walks on the beach. And then I would put 4 hours dedicated to marketing, learning sales, learning networking. And then the other 4 hours I can dedicate to creativity, designing and actually creating my product. And then you could have a day of distraction. My day of distraction includes meeting with a friend or going out to the garden. But you gotta include everything on here that you wanna accomplish. And then here I put my distractions would be hanging out with friends for too many hours. And then I can also put in the skills that I want. My skills that I want is learning how to use YouTube, learning more marketing, learning sales. So there you go. Create your map of your life. Put it in writing. And also with these distractions, for example, laziness, too much TV, going to the movie theaters too much, spending too much time at hours or at social events, drinking too much. Those are your distractions, the things that we need to work on. So even before we go out to this social event or this party or meeting with somebody, it's nice to sit down before you get there, and you're gonna know who you're gonna encounter, what the situation is gonna be like. So it's best to prepare and think, okay, well, I'm gonna go there, I'm only gonna have one drink, I'm only gonna do this and that, and plan out the scenario of how you're gonna behave at this situation, how long you're gonna stay there, and you're handling the situation instead of reacting to it. Because life is gonna give us a lot of obstacles, a lot of trials, testing, and we need to show how much we want this ambition that we put on the top of this mountain. And how do we show it? By being consistent, disciplined, and always remembering where we're going. And how are we gonna accomplish this? It's up to us to decide. And yes, we are gonna get distracted. We are gonna be lazy on some days. There are gonna be days where there's no progress. But this is why we have this, to get us back on track. Staying on track. It's not a line that goes straight up. We're gonna have some zigzags. We're gonna have some U-turns, some dead ends, moments of scarcity where there's nothing in the forest. Where are the fruit trees? I don't know. But look around, stay aware, have clarity. The resources are there. And that's going to be covered in some other chapter on how God opens the doors for us and provides the resources. It's just the problem is that we don't see them. And in the next chapter, I'll give you some tips on how to see the resources. Well, nice talking to you.